What up, 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 what up? What's going on, America? It is Brooklyn Beers and Ball Sports Show. We are here again, another episode as we get ready to talk and pontificate week 15 of the NFL. It is on and popping. It's your boy Don. It's your boy Rod. We don't have Scrap. Last time it was Scrap and Don. It was about Rod. I mean, it's been a little difficult getting all three of us together, but don't worry, America. We know how we flow when it's all three of us, but nevertheless, we are here today. We're going to rock and roll. You know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, all the major platforms. We out there. We're on it. Shout out to my boy Don, who keeps us going and keep us out there, man, and making sure the Brooklyn Bears and Ball Sports Show is in the mix when it comes to sports, man. Listen, it has been an interesting football season, to say the least, particularly for Don and myself. Of course, Scrap, he's in the driver's seat. Has been a little while. Looks like he'll remain there for the remainder of the season. But nevertheless, we're still playing some football games. Debilitating loss last night for my Dallas Cowboys, or the night before, rather. But nevertheless, I'm here. And, Don, you're there. And so what's going on, bro? How you feeling, man?
I'm okay. The only problem I have is that you keep trying to put me in the same boat as you. And we're not there yet, right? We're not in the same boat. And you're just, it's me and Don. Yeah, because me and Don. No. We're not out of it yet. Okay. Mathematically, there is a chance. Listen, hope, what is it? Hope reigns eternal, or whatever that phrase is. Springs eternal. We have an opportunity. Listen to this. Listen, and we'll get into it. That's going to be the first game we talk about. But just keep in mind, if we handle business, and we went out, which is very possible. It is possible. Our percentages of making the playoffs is almost 60%. So it's not.
How has the mighty fallen? You actually froze. You froze for a quick
second.
No,
I didn't freeze. I didn't freeze. No. I just stopped. I stopped to watch you.
Oh, okay. I'm just sitting here just, hearing how the mighty has fallen. I mean,
I don't want you. All I'm saying is this. I don't want you to join. I don't want us to lock arm in arm just yet. Okay. There'll be maybe a season for that, but we're not, we're not skipping into the off season and skip. I'm not ready to do that yet. Okay. My team still has an opportunity to still, it may be slim, but we still have an opportunity to make the playoffs. And, it is what it is, man. But we'll get into that. Without further ado, let's get into it. Week 15 is about to start. Tomorrow we start week 15. And what a great game to start it. A game that is actually for something, right? Teams are still competitive, still playing to actually vie for a playoff spot. We have San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams. Now, this game is interesting because the Rams handle business. They beat Buffalo, right? And Buffalo seemed like they were world beaters. They were had an opportunity, had they continued to win, because they beat Kansas City, would have the opportunity at possibly having the number one seed in the AFC. The Rams handled business and beat up on them. Now, 49ers coming off of Sunday's win, we had a 3-game skid. We were able to handle business and beat up on Chicago convincingly. Now, mind you, a lot of other teams that played Chicago came down to the wire. I think we beat them wire to wire. It was 38-13. Wasn't even a competitive game. Rod will downplay it as, it's just, whatever, Chicago, right? And they don't even know how to make pizzas. He'll come up with some reason as to why we should diminish what we did to Chicago. Now, we do have an important game. Now, every game matters for us, and it's been a while since we've had such debilitating injuries. Every game is going to matter to us, and our margin for error is done. So I think we will be aggressive. Of course, Isaac Guerrero, who played really well. I mean, we are a running back machine. We just a factory, if you will. Well, we just get running backs. We know how to make them,
Mhm.
pop. And so, unfortunately, he's dealing with a foot injury. He has not been ruled out, but the likelihood of him playing on a short week, maybe if we had a game Sunday, he would play, but I don't think he's going to actually play. So, next man up, Patrick Taylor Jr. Is the next guy. And what? Why are you looking
I
confused?
never heard of him. I don't know.
You
Maybe
don't have the who heard of Rico Dowell before?
who's actually Rico Dallas, the second leading running back behind Saquon Barkley in the last 5 games. He's got the
Oh my
second most yards.
goodness! So
I
this
just
is
want to
what.
throw it out there.
So the whole season we're gonna base it off of in the last 6 minutes of the game.
It just goes to show Dallas waited too long to decide on what was obvious to everyone, but to just make him the number 1 back instead of messing around with Zeke and Deuce Vaughn and these guys. But I digress. But who are you talking about? Patrick?
Well,
Patrick Willis?
I'll say.
Who's this? Patrick.
Patrick
Mahomes.
Patrick Willis is a Hall of Famer. So yeah, Patrick Willis. Yeah, that would be great. Patrick Taylor. But okay. I'll say this. Brock Purdy, let me give you the bright parts and then I'll pass it to you. I think Brock Purdy is going to he has to play well, right? He's going to have to do whatever is in his power, because even if the fan base and you and other people want to write the Niners off, this is potentially a contract season for Brock Purdy. Either he's going to be franchise tagged, he will be, moved and they find someone else if they deem that, or he's going to get a payday. 60 million will not happen, but he will get a payday. So one of those things is happening. Yeah. And so he's going to have to play, and he has to play well, because if Team C and if, the ownership looks and says, okay, we see how you play with CMC, but maybe everybody would play that good with CMC and Brandon Ayuk and, all of these players, pieces that you have. What would you do with lesser talent, right? And that is what is that differentiates him between potentially other 60 million, 55 million. What can you do with less talent, right? And so I think he's going to play well because he's going to be extremely motivated to play well. That means he's going to be using his legs. He's going to be more decisive. He's not going to put the ball in harm's way. I like what we're going to do. I do think we'll still be able to run the ball. Now, mind you, the Rams are no slouches, right? They have a really, really good team, right? So you got the Rams. They have, of course, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, Cooper Kupp, Demarcus Robinson, and of course they have Matt Stafford. So they have a good team, but I think that we are the hungrier team, and I think that it's going to show. What do you say?
No, I actually got the Niners winning this game. Actually, I think you'll win. I think the Rams are a team that's, obviously great win on Sunday against Buffalo. And they're a team that's very talented. McVay is, again, I still consider him to be a very elite coach. He does a lot. He knows how to replenish talent. Again, great receiving core. And Stafford is still a good quarterback, right? I mean, he's not, obviously maybe what he was when he was in his prime in Detroit, and even when he got to LA and then winning a Super Bowl there, and I believe it was in his first year, if I'm not mistaken. He's still a very, very good quarterback. Always had a great arm, and they've got weapons, and they're a good team. But I think, I got the Niners winning this game because I just don't trust the Rams. I think the Rams are going to find a way to lose this game. On paper, right now, when you look at the rosters, I think the Rams have a better team because of all the guys you got out from the Niners side of the ball. But I just think that, you guys will probably find a way to win, because I think the Rams are going to just somehow, I don't know, I just feel like they're going to lay an egg. They're, to me, an inconsistent team. Look, you talked about having hope in your division to possibly win the division. I think you say that with your chest because it's been proven that the teams that in your division have been for the most part, very inconsistent. You know what I mean? The Cardinals, we know, Gino and the nose, they play. I mean, they're playing good right now. They got a pretty tough schedule come, for the remainder of the year. But so I could see why there's hope. But I do like you guys winning this game. But I don't think y'all are going to win the rest of the game. I do think Miami's going to beat you and Detroit's going to beat you because those teams are going to have something to play for. You're playing in Miami. Which is to be a little different from what happened a couple of years ago, and I don't think you'll end up. I don't think you guys will beat Detroit. Not as decimated as you guys are, and you're, I mean, like you say, y'all can manufacture running backs, and definitely old boy had a good game. The kid there played really well, but the Bears are the Bears. I mean, new coach, new.
Well, wait. Well, hold on. Now, now the Bears are the Bears now.
Well, the
right?
Bears are. I mean, are you sticking your chest out over that win?
It's a W. It's a W, right?
Oh,
we'll take it. What do you mean? How have the mighty fallen? Rod, we only play who's on our schedule, right? A wise man with a cowboy hat tilted to the side once told me that you only play who's on your schedule. Right.
I know, I agree with that, but with playing who's on your schedule, you still know who's on your schedule, and knowing who's on your schedule when you do beat a team that you just kind of clearly are better than, even with decimated players, you don't make a big. I mean, you don't. you're talking like. I mean, this. America. Have we heard?
We handle business. We handled. We won the game.
You won a
game
that you should win anyway, right? Did you expect to win that game?
Listen, our team is decimated. So I appreciate, how about this? Not that, how the mighty have fallen. I do appreciate our wins because we are on our third string running back. Okay. We have Trent didn't play. I mean, so Debo has underwhelmed. It's not like we have now, if it was our full arsenal, it would go without saying that we would blow them out. You didn't think
you still had enough to beat the Bears, though?
Yeah, I think. Right, so I think because the sense of urgency, maybe the Bears understand that they have, they started off 4-2, but they have, just blown a lot of games, and I think that they understand that they really their season's over. We have something to play for, so every game we're going to give it our best effort, and we're going to be.
The Bears just kind of rolled over and died, and you're happy about that. You played a team based on your assessment of them that they don't have much to play for, so you beat a team that really.
No. I'm sure at this point teams play for pride, right? I mean, why was Micah Parsons crying if it's not about pride? Why was he crying? Why was he going into the locker room like Embiid after they lost in the playoffs when he was crying?
Like Embiid.
So it's about pride, right?
Yeah. I mean, no, but I don't know if they play with pride. Maybe they want to play maybe for their coach, the new guy, right? Maybe it was a breath of fresh air for them. I don't know. Is Bosa still hurt?
There is talk that he is, I think he was limited in practice, but the exciting thing is Greenlaw is supposed to be back and making his debut. So we have, from a defensive standpoint, health is on the way, right? We have some help, and that will help us out. And shout outs to our championship coach, Canandre. We gave you a shout out in the last show. Thank you for joining us. So we'll see what happens. How do you know Bosa's done for the season? I mean, wait a minute.
They got him questionable for Sunday.
Is it Bosa or Overshown?
Hey man,
maybe look, I shouldn't even went there. Every L, he lost every L. 4 L's. 4 L's in one game. I don't know how that happens, but it happens. You lost the game. That was 1 L. MCL, PCL, did I say ACL already? ACL, MCL, PCL, and you lost the game. So 4 losses. I don't think he's done for the season. I do think.
No, he's done. He won't be back till probably the middle of
2026.
Yeah, middle of
next. No, Jerry Jones said 2026.
Jerry doesn't know what he's talking about. All them L's, you don't. You know who he could be, and I pray that he doesn't. Although he was a really good player for you guys, is Bowman, Navarro Bowman. He Bowman was a really good linebacker, and then he got decimated with all the L's. All those same L's.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Yes,
Overshown
Overshown is that kind of player.
He was right.
Overshown was in the Pro Bowl easily.
Right.
Are you trying to?
Is he a rookie? Is Overshown a rookie?
His second year in the league, but his first year playing a full season. So technically, he's playing a rookie season. Bowman was an All-Pro.
Are we talking about Navarro Bowman? We're not talking about Navarro. And you're comparing Overshown to Navarro Bowman?
As far as the injuries and the way that he plays.
Injury is only comparison that you can make.
You don't think Overshown is just as good as Bowman?
Absolutely
not. It has that
Absolutely
possibility to be as good as him, if not better. Bowman was a great. That's saying a lot for Overshown. For me to put him in the same category as Bowman. Look, I don't know how much you watch the Cowboy games at that level of detail, but you need to Google Damarian Overshown. That boy could play. Everybody knows that. That boy, in fact, he's actually a better linebacker than Micah Parsons, other than the fact that he don't rush the quarterback the way Parsons does. But that boy,
what does he do then?
He could cover. He could tackle. He's fat. Fast as heck. Okay.
Rod, come on, Rod.
Oh my God.
Rod, pick a Cowboy to compare him to. Please don't compare him to.
What I'm saying is Bowman's career he never came back to be that player he was after he busted his knee up in a way in which he did, the same way that Overshown got hurt the other night. And he never recovered. And I'm just saying,
okay.
I hope that's not
so has in any time, and I don't watch every Cowboy game, at any time has Overshown completely taken over a game?
He's part of taking over a game.
So we cannot compare them. We cannot compare.
Drill said he reminds me of Patrick Willis. That's even, listen, okay? And P. Will was a bad boy.
You're comparing him to Patrick Willis also?
You need to see Overshown play. Overshown is that dude. And yes, does he have the ability to take over a game?
All I hear is Micah Parsons. Was Overshown playing?
Gets all the love. I
understand this. Was Overshown playing when Micah Parsons was out hurt?
Yes, he was.
I didn't hear his name at all.
You heard Overshown's name, but the defense actually played very well over these games. We just ain't got an offense that could score. We'll get into how putrid that offense is. I got a lot to say about that.
As dominant as you're suggesting, and you're suggesting Hall of Fame. Patrick Willis is going into the Hall of Fame. If you're saying that Overshown, who obviously this is his second year or first year actually starting, you're comparing him to a Hall of Famer that was able to dominate.
I'm saying trajectory. He's on. What we're saying
ain't that much trajectory in the world.
We're saying that Damarian Overshown has.
He can remind you of Patrick Willis.
And ability.
He can remind
you
be
like a Patrick. Yes, he can. What? So nobody can be like a Patrick Willis.
He can remind you.
He's not a Dick Butkus. Okay, let's get this clear. All right, he ain't a Dick Butkus. He ain't a Mike Singletary now, for crying out loud.
Okay, so now we have
linebacker.
Now we have to go to we have to go to the epitome of play. Well, and
he's great. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. No question about it. No question about it. He's in the Hall of Fame. There's no doubt about it.
Who?
Okay.
Not Overshown. Are you putting Overshown in the Hall of Fame?
Overshown can definitely be in the Hall of Fame. If he continues to play at the level he's playing, yes, he can be. Easily. Yes, he can. Overshown is that he ask anybody anyway. Go to your job. Ask any of the fellas and the brothers in the church.
I'm not asking any of them. Any of those Cowboy fans I already know are delusional. To include Rain.
But everybody there's no bias there. Overshown is really a really good linebacker.
Okay, so where was he drafted? Where was he? What school did he come from? I'll do my research. Where did he come from? He
came out of Texas. He was a third round pick. Came out of Texas.
Okay, special play. I see.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. So what? Also now, so what? Because he didn't come out in the first round. He don't have the.
No, it has nothing to do with that. I mean, normally if the main player is out, right? The main star is out. That if you want to say name recognition, Micah gets all of the attention. He's out. If he's out, you're going to normally the next person who is supposed to be that dude, the way you're putting him in the hole, you would hear him, and you would say, they would start making the comparison that, oh man, I can't wait for Micah to come and assist him. If he's showing out the way you're saying he was, and he has that.
Yes, he had 90 tackles so far. Okay. 90 tackles, and he had 5 sacks. Okay. And an interception that he returned for a touchdown. You didn't hear about him because Dallas is losing. And because the Cowboys have so many other stars and so many other players and issues and stuff that they're going to talk about.
I don't know about
right?
that. You got that many stars.
Overlooked.
You don't have that many stars.
We don't have that many stars. So I mean, I'm saying they're gonna talk about Micah. You're gonna talk about CD. You're still gonna talk about Dak. And we got Jerry Jones who hogs up all the spotlight.
All right, so that's not even a handful. That's not even 5 people. I wouldn't consider your team full of stars. There are other teams that have way more stars, and everyone is
but you understand
expected to produce.
But our brand is going to the Cowboy. You can have a whole decades team of great players on the 49ers, and they still won't get the same level of publicity and coverage as the Dallas Cowboys. That's just a fact. So with the Cowboys being who they are, there's so many things to talk about with the Dallas Cowboys because
so that goes against your argument. If he was good as you say he was, and the Cowboys already get a elevated platform based on the team, he would be a household name if he was that good. Right?
He only played this is his first season that he played. He got hurt in preseason last year, and he showed great.
So we don't know what he is. It sounds like
right now,
he's
90 tackles with 5 sacks and a 4 fumble. That's pretty good.
It sounds like he's injury prone. That's what he sounds like. It sounds like he's injury prone.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I just.
You said this is his second year, and this is 2 injuries that have prevented him from completing or playing in a season. Sounds injury prone to me.
What's your linebacker again? Who's your Fred Warner, right? Let's just look at Fred Warner for a minute. I just want to see something here.
Are you comparing him to Fred Warner?
No, I'm not comparing him to Fred Warner, but I just want to say here. So Fred Warner right now, he has 91 tackles. He has 2 interceptions. He has 1 sack. His numbers are no better than Damari and Overshown. In fact, Overshown's numbers are actually a lot better than his. A lot better. Just for the record. I mean, he only has 1 more tackle than Overshown. He got 4 less sacks. Okay. All right. He's got 2 picks and he has a TD. Okay. But at the end of the day, his numbers are no different than Overshown. Overshown has a TD and a pick, and he has 5 sacks, and he has 90 solo tackles. And they have about the same amount of solo tackles. So I'm saying, what is so you didn't tell me he's not having a great year? If you compare his numbers to Fred Warner, he's not having a great year.
Steve.
He don't have the name as Fred Warner. Huh?
Thank you, Steve. Do you know that Fred Warner is playing with a fractured ankle? He's doing that with a fractured ankle. So now that's not true. So he doesn't have that fractured ankle.
Oh my Lord.
Right. Okay. All right. Listen, Overshown, look out. I mean, I guess he's going to be a Hall of Fame player. This is what Cowboy fans do.
Just that good.
This is why
you need to look him up.
The majority of the people. I'll look him up when you look up Brandon Ayuk and you do your due diligence on Brandon Ayuk. I'm not interested in Overshown.
I said we don't.
He's not here to play. He's not here to play.
Stats down.
So this is why people do not like Cowboy fan base. People do not like Cowboy fans because once the Cowboys are out of it or their team is terrible, then they got to go to the next level. They peel back an onion, but Overshown, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. And then now that he's out, but then you got to look at Rico Dowd. He would have been, he would have rushed for 2,000 yards.
Consensus on Overshown. It's not like I'm making up a guy and trying to promote somebody. I'm telling you what everybody knows. If you go to any circles of people that's watching football like what we do, they will tell you that, Overshow, regardless they're a Cowboy fan or not, they cannot deny that man. He is a very exceptionally good linebacker.
I remember somebody telling me that Overshown was slight for a linebacker. He was kind of light for a linebacker.
He's a little small. He's a little small, but he's fast.
Wait, who said that? But wait. Can you refresh me?
You ain't breaking out.
Can you refresh me as to who said that? Can you remind the audience who may be just tuning in for the first time who said when he was out injured last season that he was slight anyway?
Yeah, he's a little undersized for a backer.
No, but who said it? But who said
that? I said that.
Okay, just wondering.
I said that. Just wondering. That's not taken away from how good he is. It don't matter.
Okay, so you downplayed him when he was out. Now all of a sudden
that's not downplaying him because he's slight. That's like me saying AJ Brown is slight. I mean,
so let me give some context to it. You said that the Cowboys, you were, I think, knocking their selections. You were saying that our linebackers are small. Everybody's small. They're slight. So you weren't saying I have a Hall of Fame. I have a potential Hall of Fame linebacker. You should have started with that. Not that you're a linebacker.
Well, we got to put that conversation in context. So we were talking about the run defense for Dallas and how it's bad because we have undersized linebackers. And Dan Quinn was playing with guys. Marquise Bell is a safety, for crying out loud. Damone Clark was undersized. Okay, Micah, who was a linebacker, has been shipped to a DE. So we were thin in linebacker, and Overshown was out last year. So we were talking about in context to Dallas's inability to stop the run. We weren't evaluating the players at that time in that conversation.
I didn't hear a Hall of Fame. I didn't hear a Hall of Fame comparison at any time.
Because we weren't evaluating players. We were talking about the defense as a whole. We weren't evaluating anybody.
So wait a minute. So you can't mention the defense. You can't mention the Niners defense without mentioning Nick Bosa, right? You can't mention.
He's up there.
You're going to mention
Warner is a good defender too.
Right.
Warner not a Hall of Fame.
He is. So that's my point. You omitted that Overshown had the potential to be a Hall of Famer. You should have said that also. In addition,
I couldn't say that last year because he didn't play last year. But this year we saw what we all were hoping to see last year when he was drafted. What we see now is what we all anticipated for him to be. And he's having a really good season. And his numbers, oh boy, here we go. It don't matter. Yeah, that's right. He's laughing. You know what Michael's laughing at? He's laughing at you not understanding and disrespecting Overshown.
Listen.
Fred Warner's playing on one leg. So now, it don't got nothing to do with that.
He didn't even mention it.
You know
it wasn't like he led with that. It was just, it came out like maybe 2 weeks ago that he's been playing with a fractured ankle.
To be he can be a Hall of Fame linebacker one day. If he plays, keep playing. If he's able to avoid injury, he can be that player. We just hope that that's not going to be his cue card.
Well, can we say that? Can we just project a little bit based on how
well, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I'm not trying to put, trying to curse the man, but I mean, no, you're right. Two severe injuries. It's devastating. That's why a lot of guys is crying and hurting, and a lot of people are down by this injury because we feel bad for him because he really has the potential as a young, good player, and you never want to see that. It's just like Ayuk.
You don't.
I don't think Ayuk is the number one, but I don't want to see Ayuk hurt or out for the season. Or not be able to see if he can play up to the pressure of his contract and different things. Right? You want to see the guy play. So that's all it is. You know what I mean? Overshown, we wanted to see what he can be. For the rest of the season. Playing good football.
I get what you're saying, and we don't want to see players hurt, but it's apples to oranges. Ayuk already put up a Pro Bowl season, so we seen it already. Okay, so potential, and actually,
so based on the stats I just showed you, I just told you he's not having a good season based on them stats.
I don't know if he would be Pro Bowl, but really good season. I think it would be a good season. There's only how many Pro Bowl spots? They can't unless Jerry Jones has something programmed where it's automatically you got to pencil in a Dallas player. He has to compete with other people in his position.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my
Rod,
gosh.
so you're acting like it was a given that he was going to be in the Pro Bowl. Yeah, he was having a good season.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
a very good season.
It didn't equate to wins, but he was having a good season.
Well, that's not his fault because they're not winning. I mean, that's all. I mean, you see what our team. You know what? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna remember this. I'm gonna remember this. Now I'm gonna say, you know what?
Please do.
You know what? Ooh, I'm gonna remember this. You wait and see. Oh my goodness. I don't want to hear nothing from you. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
All right. So let's get back. Let's get back on.
Let's get
focus.
Back to the Niners and Rams.
All right. Let's talk about the Niners and the Rams. I do. Yeah. Let's hear what he says. Pro Bowl or All Pro. Pro Bowl isn't really the standard.
No, I agree with that. An All Pro obviously is much better than it's a higher, it's a higher accolade, if you will, than a Pro Bowl. I get that. I get that.
Thank you, Jamal. And it appears he has a star.
But we're not going to poo-poo on the Pro Bowl either, though. Okay, I mean, Pro Bowls are still,
your brothers. Your brothers. One of them boys has spoken, and he understands the difference between All Pro.
All Pro is. No question about it. I mean, Patrick Willis went to 7 Pro Bowls and he made 5 first team All Pro. He made more Pro Bowls than he made All Pro. I mean, most guys are going to make more all Pro Bowls than they would All Pros. I mean, it's very rare that.
And so do you want to recant your statement on comparing him to Patrick Willis? Do you want to?
I'm talking about as far as talent and what he can be. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying he's Patrick Willis. I'm saying he has the ability to have a career like Patrick Willis if he can remain healthy. That's all I'm saying. What
potential is one thing. Being able to do it, being healthy enough to actually be able to.
I'm trying to say, right? But if all things aside of injury, the way he's playing, what he's shown so far, and what we've anticipated of what we believe how this guy can play, which he has so far in his short span of playing the NFL.
Very small sample size. Costco sample. It has been a Costco sample. It's
okay, so let me tell you something. If you're not a scout,
it's in aisle 15. Go down there if you want the whole thing, but this is just a sample. All Overshown gave was a small Costco sample. So let's not compare him to a bona fide.
I didn't say compare. We're talking about what he has the potential to become. Like every scout, any scouting department is going to make comparison to a player. When they see a player, well, who does he give you? Who does he remind you of? He reminds me of this kind of player. He reminds me of that kind of player. That's natural to say what a guy could potentially be or his attributes or skill sets remind you of. I mean, you got to have that. How are you evaluating grading players if you don't have something to compare them to? I mean, so what? Y'all looked at Trey Lance and thought he was going to be what? Your franchise quarterback? You traded all the way up to get him.
What team is he on now? Currently, as we speak, who's he play for?
Well, he's with the Cowboys, but I mean, what happened?
Okay, so our trash was your treasure. Our trash became your treasure.
But he wasn't your trash when you traded up for him, right? Yeah. You saw potential in him. He didn't play no NFL games. He
only played a handful.
At that level.
He played less than a Costco sample.
Before he played that much
football, but what I'm saying is,
what did he do for y'all to trade draft picks for him?
When he was at North Dakota State, I believe that's where he came from. North Dakota, something, orange and whatever. When Kyle Shanahan, he only played a handful of games. So he played less than a Costco sample of games. So to make that leap and trade up and try to get him was a mistake.
What did they judge that on? They judged it on potential. They still thought that he had the potential. And how do we know y'all had that thought? That thought of potential in him? By the fact that y'all.
But we're talking a first-round draft pick
made him
compared to a third-round draft pick. It's apples and oranges. We're talking lottery picks as opposed to a third-round pick that may hit or miss.
But you drafted him number 1. You don't draft. So when
I'm talking about Overshown. I'm talking about Overshown is a third-round pick. You cannot compare what we thought of Trey Lance to what you thought of Overshown.
But it was still potential. At the bottom line, the common denominator was potential.
Third-round potential. We bombed with Trey Lance, but that was a first-round pick.
As far as he can play,
Rod, that was a first-round pick. As opposed to a third round where it's a roll of the dice. He may hit, he may not.
Well, but when you look at the value of what you get in a player, right, at a third round, the truth is that's even better that you saw something in a third-round player or even a fourth-round player like we had with Dak, and the guys clearly outlived they clearly overperformed than what their draft status was. You picked the number one guy that you made your number one pick, and he was a bust. So I'm saying
we made it to the Super Bowl with the last pick. So what does that at the end of the day?
So that's the point I'm trying to make.
So if we do a terrible pick and an excellent pick, it all balances out that we're still above the Cowboys. At the end of the day, when it all comes to a slow boil,
we talk about overshowing potential of players when we analyze players. We're not talking about the Cowboys, and at the end of the day, the Niners are going to be right at home with the Cowboys. You can talk all that hope you want, there is a high likelihood. Right with Overshown. CMC and Overshown going to sit together at their injured selves, and they're going to sit there, and they're going to compare.
That is very possible. That is very possible.
It is possible.
That is possible. We're not there yet, but I think it's possible.
It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
But I'll say this, and then we'll come up with the scores. I will say this. Our team is completely decimated. Injuries.
Now we're using injuries.
No. I'm not. Those are facts, right?
Right, but I'm saying, but when you talk about Dallas and you want to talk about us, right? And
you have one player that's injured. I mean, one major player. Now Overshown just
how many games Micah Parsons missed? Micah missed almost 5 games this year. He missed games. Dak is out for the season. Brandon Cook missed a lot of games.
Now
Zach Martin is gone for the season.
Zach Martin has just been out the last 2 games. So
but he's going to be gone for the season. I'm saying he's gone. He's gone for the season. He's out for the season.
Well, season is over. I mean, yeah. He just wanted to get his reservations done earlier. He wanted to get to those resorts before the rest of your team.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, no problem. Let's get a score. What do you have with the Niners and Rams? Now you're going to change it up and have the Rams beat us because you're upset. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm upset. That's right.
You're upset.
He made me mad.
I see that vein in his forehead.
These late
got him.
shows on the East Coast. I'm vulnerable. Okay, I'm very vulnerable. I'm only fresh in the morning. At night like this, Don is fresh. He's still in the middle of his day over there. I'm winding down.
Outside. It's dark.
Right, it's dark, but it's still early over there. It's early.
Oh yeah, it's still early.
It's late. Right now we're pushed with 2 minutes from 10 o'clock, and D knows I'm vulnerable right now. And right now I want the Rams 90 and the Niners 7. That's my score. That's how I feel. And I hope Fred Warner gets 2 tackles total. Okay, that's how I feel about this whole thing right now. You know what I'm saying? But
is that your official score? Is that your official score? That's okay. It's all right.
No. Listen, you know what?
At least you have some emotion. At least you have a pulse. Unlike McCarthy, who is always every place he goes, there's even stadiums that don't have jumbotrons. He's always looking up. Listen, that's muscle memory. He's always looking up at the jumbotron. And I'm like, yo, they don't have a jumbotron. What are your eyes doing? Bring your eyes down. Look at the field. Look at that playbook. I mean, he's always looking up.
Oh gosh, you so stupid.
So what do you have?
Yes, he is.
What do you have?
Yeah, I got a lot to say about McCarthy, but I don't even know. I listen. No, you know what? The Rams are going to keep it going. They're high off this victory, even though they're playing in. What y'all playing? They're playing in San Fran. It don't matter. That ain't far. That's right there. It don't matter. Few Ram fans that they got will be in the building. You know what I'm trying to say? Listen, I don't care. You know what? I'm going with the Rams. I want the Rams to win. The Rams are going to win this game. Okay, they're going to win this game. They're going to run the rock because y'all really can't. Y'all it seem like y'all don't do well against the run anyway. So here's the key. It's going to be the Rams.
We went. I forget what team. It might have been Jacobs. Prior to Jacobs running for over 100 yards, we went 55 games without someone breaking 100 yards. What do you mean? Can we stop them? Even in our worst days are better than the Cowboys' best days. Come on now. Let's be serious about that. Yeah, we did have someone run on us, but now, as I said, if Greenlaw is able to play, if Hufanga is able to come back and play, we have potentially some defensive help on the way. Now, granted, are we the Niners of last year or 2 years ago? No, but I do think we have something to play for. The quarterback has to be highly motivated. Really, Kyle Shanahan has to be motivated to call a great game, because people are starting to look at him and scratch their heads and say, with all this talent, how come you have underperformed and were not able to coach and get your team over the hump? So I think everyone is going to be motivated to play at a high level. This game counts. It's not just, something's on TV. It's a standalone game on Thursday night. I like the Niners to roll. I don't think we're going to blow them out, but I do think we're going to be able to put up some numbers. Did you give your accurate score, or you just?
No, it's my score. I'm still picking the Rams to win. The Rams going to win. They're going to win 27-21. That's what they're going to win.
27-21.
They're gonna falter. They're gonna falter. Something's gonna happen. Okay.
I like 49ers to handle business. I think Brock Purdy. I think the combination of I think Kittle's gonna have a really good game. I think the combination of Patrick Taylor and I forget the other guy's name. I forget what his name is. Abba. I can't say his name properly. The guy that was he used to be on the Jets, super 4.3 speed. There's an outside chance that Garendo plays. I really don't think he's going to play because it's a short week, but I do like the Niners. I think we're going to win 31-21. 31-21 49ers. Brock Purdy is going to extend plays with his legs. He's going to let that arm go. And I think they're going to really scheme players open. And I will say this, Debo, who put something on X that said that he's not having a down year, he's just not getting the ball. I think that they're going to give Debo the ball and say, you know what?
He deleted? Is that the one he deleted?
Yeah, they made him delete it. Because I think they're going to utilize Debo like they did prior to.
That's why you will lose. You're going to force Debo the ball.
No, I don't think
Debo, and they're forcing the ball. And by the time, I'm not going to speak injury over the guy. But like I said, you know what I mean? You force feed Debo. That's going to be a problem. He's your AJ Brown of the Niners. That's all. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think we're going to force feed him the ball. I think we're going to. I don't think there's going to be an overemphasis, as I do perhaps with the Eagles, to force AJ Brown into the offense. I think we're going to go with the flow, and I don't think Kyle Shanahan's going to be pressured because Debo's going to be gone next year. So there's going to be no pressure to keep Debo, right? AJ Brown is in a contract. They just paid him. So there is going to be some pressure to keep him involved, and it's apples and oranges. They're looking to try to get the number 1 seed. We're trying to survive and win each game and try to make it. So it's different. We're not going to cater to Debo, right? If he's open, if he's able to play make, that's what we're going to do. But we're not going to force feed him at our detriment. Not going to happen. So 31-21 49ers.
The Rams do have a bad defense. So, I mean, that's why I think I'm going out on a limb that they'll hold you out of 21 points.
No, I don't want you to change. Don't give any caveats.
I'm not going to change.
Just pick who
you're going to get a lot of eyes in the chat tomorrow.
Oh, I know. I'm sure I will. I know.
I'm telling you. I know. Puka just.
Puka's a great player. Puka is a great player.
I know. Yeah, you're going to see even how great of a player he is. You're going to even more so.
He's a great player. Yeah. Cooper Kupp's a great player. Yep. Of course, Kyron Williams is a great player. So they're not a slouch, right? They're not a slouch.
No, their defense just isn't good, but they got
exactly. And so I think there'll be opportunities. I think it potentially could be a shootout, and that would be interesting. That would be if Purdy is able to go toe to toe with him. I think that would bode well to show he's already proven a lot, but that would show with lesser surrounding cast around him what he could do with obviously a Super Bowl winning quarterback with a lot of weapons. So I think that would be good. Let's quickly talk about the Cowboys. We talked about the injuries. to nauseam, right? Overshown, Hall of Famer. He played, he is in 2 years.
You got
less than 10. We're
That's
so
all right.
excited about what his potential is, right? And so I'm excited about what he could potentially be. You guys have Carolina. Your job is to make sure that Chuba Hubbard doesn't run for 200 yards on you guys, because you guys still can't stop the run. With all this Hall of Fame talent, potential, and otherwise, you guys still can't stop the run. Now, Rico Dowdle, he looked good. 2 games, whoop-de-doo. Where is the parade? 2 games, over 100 yards. Congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going crazy over that.
But if you let Bryce Young, who is only 3 inches taller than my son and maybe 15 pounds more than him, if you let Bryce Young have his way, I don't want to hear nothing about the Cowboys. I don't want to hear nothing about Micah crying. I don't want to hear nothing about overshowing his potential in 2027 when he returns. I don't want to hear none of that. You guys should dominate. Just like you said, we should dominate Chicago. Oh, it's just Chicago. You should just dominate them. Did you expect not to beat Chicago? You guys,
you making it like y'all did something with great. Listen, Carolina's been playing well.
You guys are underdogs. You guys are underdogs in this game. Underdogs.
Yeah, because we just don't have because our offense is bad. Dallas' offense is bad. And Mike McCarthy has no clue as to what he's doing. His play calling has been horrible. It's been inexplicable, to say the least. And it doesn't make sense that, the way he calls plays.
Carolina, you're justifying being an underdog to Carolina.
Yeah, I am. Because Carolina's actually playing good football. They're losing, but yet they're still winning because they're playing tough football and they're getting better as a team.
You hear that, nutso? The boy here says he owes me. He owes me.
Oh, Lord. No.
Okay. There is no way that you can say Carolina should be in the same stratosphere with you. I remember years ago, somebody I know would always use Carolina you would always punch down on Carolina. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
it's not like they're like Carolina or somebody. And now you're underdogs to Carolina.
Because Carolina's not that team anymore.
That's a good place to say how the mighty have fallen. That's a good time to say how the mighty have fallen.
No, not at all. Because what happens is that the difference between us playing Carolina, a team that almost beat the Chiefs, lost by 3, almost beat the Bucks, lost by 3, and then almost beat the Eagles. And so and then they lost by 5. So what 6 rather. So what I'm saying is that you beat the Chicago Bears, a team that you just said, really kind of gave up on the season now. They know that
they have that Chicago team.
Why are you getting excited about beating up a team that probably don't even care in your estimation?
So that Chicago team gave everybody problems down the stretch. They were supposed to win some really, just like you said, Carolina has played teams tough. Not to mention that Chicago, compared to Carolina, they have a ton of weapons. They got a good running back.
Yeah,
a good tight end.
They had a bad coach.
Good receivers. They got 3 good receivers. So it's not the same. You got Bryce Young, who's 5'8", 162 pounds, and you got Adam Thielen, who is 47 years old. You have, of course, Chuba Hubbard, who balls out.
So they haven't been playing well, though, D? They haven't been playing.
I expect them to play well on Sunday.
And they can very well beat Dallas. I think they can beat Dallas. That's why they're favored. They can beat Dallas. They very well can.
Them to.
Did you see how we lost the other night? Yeah, they can beat Dallas. They can. I think it's a complete contrast on what your team is expected to do against a bad Chicago team, a team that lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in a row before they lost to y'all. Okay. Provided they had they only lost by 3 to the Vikings. They should have won that game. We know. Mm-hmm. They only lost by 3 to the Lions. They lost by
they 1 barely lost to Washington on that didn't they? Yeah. They lose on that Hail Mary pass. So they've been in it, and they started at 4-2. So they're not a terrible team. And
but they're playing with a
quarterback.
new coach. I think the coach having
I get it.
Yeah,
I understand that.
Yeah,
but talent. We're talking about talent. The coach is on the sideline. We're talking about the talent that's there. They have arguably a generational talent at quarterback. They have, Keenan Allen may be a Hall of Famer. He's been balling out. He's been a really good player all his time while he was with the Chargers. You got Roma Dunze. Of course, you got DJ Moore. You have Swift in the running back. You have Cole Kmet as the tight end. They have a team. They got more weapons than even the Cowboys.
They just don't have any coaching as well. I mean, I get what you want.
You don't have coaching either.
Really good, solid group of players. They do. No
Cowboys
question.
don't have coaching either.
Huh?
I said Cowboys don't have coaching either. And Chicago has a good defense. They have a good defense. I mean, they didn't show it last week, but what we did to them. But I think Jackson is one of their corners. I think he's top rated. He's a really highly rated corner. So they have a good team. Long story short. But let's what do you have with the what's the score? You got a score on the Cowboys, Panthers?
Actually, the Panthers will win.
Oh man.
Yeah, the Panthers will win that game. Yeah, they'll win that game. Yeah, it'll be 23. It'll be 23-15. We can't. We don't.
Is
we
CD
don't
out?
have offense. Cooper is bad. Cooper Rush has played horrible.
Somebody said
really
he was a quality backup quarterback.
But listen, he was 5-1 as a starter. Before Dak got hurt this year, he gave us some good wins. He beat teams like he beat Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
He beat the Rams. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He beat the who else did he beat that year when he started for us? He went 4-1 that year. The only team we lost to was the Eagles. He beat some good teams. Can't remember all the teams he beat the year before last. And but I don't know what happened to him. He just really digressed. I don't know. Maybe he was better under Kellen Moore in his system. But he just can't. I don't know. He's bad. Don't you know? Last night on Monday night, Donald, he was averaging about 5 yards. The pass play is only going about no more than 5 yards on average. Only one he threw 11. The 11 yards was the furthest he threw. He no shots down the field except the stupid one. And when you go down the field,
I thought he threw a nice 40-yard pass to CD Lamb for a touchdown, right? Didn't he throw a
no? That was a short pass, I believe it was for a touchdown. Yeah, that was a short pass. No, CD Lamb, that was a run when CD Lamb ran down the sideline. That was a run.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a run. Yeah, no, we didn't.
Oh wait, you said 15 points. You said 15.
Yeah, 15.
Is CD Lamb out?
Lamb's playing.
Is he playing?
Yeah, he's playing.
I know he has an AC joint. I know he has an AC joint issue.
You got to. But I'm saying you have to get him open. Lamb had 7 catches. He was on his way to a big day on Monday night. Then in the second half, you stop going to him. But here's the thing: you should have been running the ball. Rico was averaging 7 yards a carry, 7.3 to be exact.
Yeah,
you stop running the ball. You run the ball on the drive before they get the ball back to Cincinnati, and the defense got another stop. I feel bad for our defense, by the way. Defense is getting stop. You hold Joe Burrow and that high potent offense with him and Chase. Chase had 44 catches for 4,000 yards, and they only had 20 points with 2 minutes left to play. I mean, you got to give the Cowboys some credit now. Come on, got to give us something. We got stops. We should have won that game, but Cooper Rush and Mike McCarthy is trash. The first play you run, you get 14-yard running with Rico, and you go 3 straight stupid whack passes for 5 yards. You overthrow Cook, you overthrow Ferguson, you miss on another high throw that he was bad, Cooper. But why would you call pass plays when your running back is playing good? You should have been in a nice 4-minute offense right there, D. That's what I had to do. They shouldn't even have gotten the ball back with hardly any time left. If you just ran the ball, methodically ran out the clock, throw a couple passes in there, and you run into a 4-minute offense. Mike McCarthy couldn't do that. And he the first one, and when Kellen Moore was there, Kellen just want to throw the ball all over the place. We're going to run the ball. And what did you do? Last year, you threw the ball all over the place. That's how Dak was
I think I know. I think I know what the problem is, and maybe it might take a little
And
more
those
investigating.
Routes, my God. Yeah.
The way your internet was breaking up, perhaps that's the problem with the plays. The plays aren't getting in from McCarthy to Cooper Rush. So maybe it's sounding bing bop. He's only getting part of the play, and he has to audible out of it. Maybe that makes sense. Maybe you guys are on the same Wi-Fi, Cowboy Wi-Fi that is used. Now, Rand has the Panthers losing. I mean, he has the Panthers winning. Where them boys? Nobody has the Cowboys. And let me tell you,
no.
Me and Scrap did the last show. Scrap only had the Cowboys putting up 10 points.
Yeah,
10
easily
points.
He's right.
And I said to him, that was highly disrespectful. First of all, it's disrespectful if you have somebody with CD. If you have a CD Lamb on your team,
he has no quarterback.
Is disrespectful.
But D, he has no route. He has no play caller. You have an offensive coordinator and play caller, Mike McCarthy, who's obsolete, archaic, completely Jurassic in his whole offensive approach. They don't run any routes. They don't get the ball downfield. And your line is actually playing a little bit better now. And Cooper Rush can't throw the ball. His arm is trash. So what are you going to do?
He'll be back next year.
He had CeeDee Lamb open on that fourth down on that final play. He didn't even look at Lamb. He went didn't even go through progression. As soon as he got the ball, he looked one way, looking straight at Ferguson.
The exciting part is he'll be back next year. He'll be back next year.
No, he's a free agent. So no.
McCarthy will be back next year.
No, McCarthy's not coming back. He's not coming back. We can look. That's Jerry talking. It's to keep us engaged. It's keep the media engaged.
Well, listen,
that's all.
It doesn't have to be McCarthy, but it'll be someone just like him.
It'll be somebody just like him. Oh, wait, listen. Yeah. Do you think Cowboy fan? Listen, D. If you, again, as you know, I listen to 103.5 The Fan. It's the flagship station of the Dallas Cowboys, right? That's where Jerry goes on and Steven goes on
and threatens the cold crew that he'll fire.
Threatens, Sean and RJ and those guys, for asking tough questions, right? And the whole reality is that everybody in Dallas, D, we don't care. Like when people say, "Oh, Cowboy fans is all over the place. They're erratic. They're delusional." Trust me when I tell you, that's not the case. No, when people call into the show, whether it's Sean and RJ, whether it's KC, and whether it's the G-Bag Nation, you all through the day, all of those shows, when people call in, D, everyone is ranting and raving, and everyone is saying the same thing. We're not going anywhere until Jerry is no longer there. That's all. Simple as that. And when I say Jerry's no longer there, when no one is wishing for him to die, although maybe some people
wait a minute. Hold on. The
Yeah.
only way is you think he's selling the team? Let's take a deep dive into what that means.
Unless senility comes in play or something where he's incapacitated and can't function anymore. All right, he becomes Joe Biden or something. That's about it. I mean,
so at any way you cut it, you need him pretty much.
Yeah,
a vegetable.
Yeah, that's D. You're not gonna. This man has been the GM for 30 years. He's not firing himself. He's been the president.
That's
for
my
30
point.
Years.
Yeah. Right. So you're like, we're not going to do nothing until Jerry goes. Well, listen.
That's it. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what I'm telling you. Dallas will never win as long as Jerry Jones is there.
I mean, Jerry ain't going to listen. I would say absent in the body. Like Jerry ain't going. What other way? I mean, listen.
That's the only way.
He ain't selling the team.
He's not going to sell a team, and so we just get what we get. You watch what you watch. You try to enjoy the best of it. You make the best of it. We have so much apathy towards this team in this season that it's bad. Look, I didn't even watch the game. I didn't come in until when I jumped in on the text and y'all were ragging on me about you said how Rod only joined the text. He thought he could win. I literally started watching the game pretty much at that point. Maybe just a few minutes before that. I made plans to work on other stuff while my anybody that knows me knows I never do that. Nothing comes before my Cowboys except God, right? But I was like, nah, I'm done. I mean, it don't matter.
Season's over.
Season's over.
Oh, is the sombrero still on the wall though?
Oh yeah, the sombrero's still there. Where's it at? Yeah, there it is.
Then it ain't over. Then if you still got the sombrero on,
I'm still a fan. I mean,
you gotta burn the sombrero. That's when I know that you are truly delivered, when you burn the sombrero.
Listen, listen, you're gonna be the same way, my friend. You wait until come January, my friend.
When it's over, it's over.
Just like this, and you're gonna be like, I'm still a 49er fan, but it's gonna hit you.
Let me tell you, as soon as we're mathematically out of it, we will still talk football. Well, of course,
Let me ask you a question. If you lose to the Rams, what happens? And the Seahawks win. That means y'all are 3 games back now.
Okay, so then that matters. I don't only look at what we do. I look at the teams ahead of us, what they do, right?
Wow. How the mighty has fallen. Wasn't there a time?
Every team does that. What are you talking about?
There was a time.
So you don't wait. Let me ask you a question.
The Niners didn't have to do that. When did you depend on other teams?
The Eagles aren't looking at what Detroit does. You think that for their number 1 seed, you don't think the Eagles are worried about Detroit? Detroit is worried about the Eagles. You don't think that's true?
Let me ask you a question. When was the last time have you ever, with this level of intensity at least?
First year in a long time.
First year in a long time. That you worried about what other teams?
How about you?
I'm always worried about what other teams.
Okay, so I mean, hey,
I'm not arguing with you.
What's
I'm just saying how the mighty has fallen. I'm just trying to tell.
It's not how the mighty have fallen.
Because I'm trying to give you. If you could only hear how you sound this year, you have never talked like this. Hope, Black power. You know what I'm trying to say? Power to the people. Like you are talking.
I am listen.
And faith, love, and charity. I mean, you just look. You are talking a language that I have not heard 49er fans have to say in such a long time.
And it happens.
You run the NFC. You've been in the Super Bowl, NFC championships. You never worried about what anybody else is doing. Even when Detroit was making a little, and now Detroit is coming up, but that didn't bother you. You didn't worry about that. Now
it wouldn't bother me. And it wouldn't bother me if our team was intact. Our team, we have significant injuries, and not to mention,
that's fair.
Integral parts of our team are dealing with grief. That can't be quantified enough. That's a big deal. So yes, if you want to punch down and try to make a false equivalent of how the mighty have fallen, I think that this is a one-off. This is not the norm. Now for you, you've grown accustomed to that. The scab has been on and you're accustomed to it. There is a growth of losing that you're accustomed to. This is still a sore spot. And at any time, the scab can get knocked off because it's so fresh. We're not used to losing like this. We're not used to our plans in February. We're not used to figuring out what color Gatorade is going to be poured on us when we win the NFC Championship. We're not used to that stuff. So it happens. But let's get a score. I got Chuba Hubbard for at least 125 and a touchdown on you guys. Absolutely. I think he should. And if you guys only score 15 points, CeeDee Lamb is not a number 1 receiver because there is no way. Number 1 receivers account for at least 10 points.
Number 1 receivers don't have Cooper Rush throwing them the ball either.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm just saying.
So he's not a good backup anymore. Is that what you're saying?
No, he's not.
Because you said he was a quality backup.
He was. But he was at one point. He was, and he has digressed in his performance. I think McCarthy has a lot to do with that. He played well under Kellen Moore. I don't know what happened this year. He just didn't play well. Not to mention the running game. I mean, look, there's some other ancillary pieces to this whole thing too. But at the end of the day, he's digressed. He looks bad. He really is. He does. And Trey Lance is no better. Trey Lance will give you. In fact, he'll probably give you worse. He's done. He's trash.
And yet he's on your team. He's on your team.
That's what my GM does. That's the kind of things my GM just gave.
Stellar dwellers, garbage feeders. Anything? Can we get something for cheap? Because that star, we'll take anything. It looks good on that star. So that star looks good on them. We'll take someone's leftovers and then do nothing with it. At this point, why wouldn't you try Trey Lance? He can't be. You're acting like.
Because they still want to try to win games.
You still have mobility.
Give them a better chance to win.
Trey Lance has mobility. Cooper Rush doesn't have mobility.
But we don't
Trey
know
Lance does have a strong arm. He has a strong arm. Trey Lance can throw 65 yards. It's just not accurate. But Cooper Rush ain't accurate. So what's the difference?
Well, the difference is that with a mobile quarterback, you don't know what to do with that. Mike McCarthy doesn't know what to do with a mobile quarterback.
The instincts have to kick in. And Mike McCarthy coached 2 mobile quarterbacks. Brett Favre was mobile.
Aaron Rodgers was elusive, but he wasn't mobile. He's not a
Aaron
mobile.
Rodgers was mobile.
No. Aaron Rodgers can use his leg, but he wasn't a mobile. Like he's not. There's a difference between a mobile quarterback and an elusive quarterback. A guy that knows how to maneuver in the pocket. That's different. They're not doing read options and stuff. They're not Lamar and Josh Allen.
I mean, how many?
But that's
Lamar
what Trey Lance is. Trey Lance can beat you with his legs. He can run, and he will take off. I mean, he's a threat with his legs. Aaron Rodgers was more of a threat with his arm before his legs.
And you guys don't want that. And you guys don't want that, right?
Mike McCarthy doesn't know what to do.
You don't want that element of
There's
potentially
no for him.
assisting you guys to win. All right. So what's the score? And then we'll fly through these other games.
I said 23.
Oh, 23-15. Okay.
Yeah.
I think based on Micah crying and just being beside himself and asking why. You ever seen the girl, once she found out that the election, what the results of the election, she was just screaming, why? You ever seen that one?
No, I didn't see
In any case, all right, maybe for another time. But I think Cowboys, I gotta think that the Cowboys are going to be able to muster up something. You got Micah, you got CeeDee Lamb. These are supposed to be 2 players, different positions, but in the top of those positions. So I do think, although I think Chuba is going to have a game, he's going to have a day on them. I like the Cowboys to win. I think the Cowboys will win. And I'm going to go 24-14. 24-14. No, I'm going to up that. I'm going to up that score because I think Carolina will be able to score on you guys. I'll go 28-21. 28-21 Cowboys. I think
28 points. Wow. Thanks.
Yeah.
Very generous.
Well, Rico, if he's able to run the ball, I mean, you can run on Carolina. He's showing you two games in a row. He can run over 100 yards if given the touches, 7 yards a carry. And you got CeeDee Lamb, right? And you got Cooks, right? So you do have someone else to take away the double team on CD. So CD should be able to manufacture something. He should be able to get open. Jamar Chase shows you. Chase showed you what a number 1 receiver looked like.
CD, we know that.
CD did not show. He did not show well.
Well, he doesn't have a Joe Burrow, and he doesn't have a Zach Brown who knows how to scheme guys over. You notice that
Zach Taylor. He didn't play show or finish. He didn't play show or finish. He looked bad.
Who?
CD. He's not a number 1.
No, CD actually played well in the first half, and he had 2 targets in the second half.
Well,
2 targets. Two targets.
What kind of game is it? Is it a game of? Is it 4 quarters or is
he can't? So when Debo Samuel says, "I'm not having a down year, I'm just not getting the ball." So what do you say to that? Because whatever your answer is to that, then you can translate that also to the CD situation.
Is CD better than Debo?
I believe he is.
Nice. You took a minute. Okay. All right.
He is.
All right.
He is.
Okay.
I think he is better than
I like
Debo.
that. I like that. It took you enough. It took you long enough.
Debo's not a natural receiver.
I've said this before, but for whatever reason, it was, I said Debo is a great player. He's not the greatest receiver on our team. He's not the number 1 receiver. But we're not going to go there because, Brandon Ayuk is hopefully watching the show and healing up. Let's quickly talk about the Texans in Miami. Now, we'll be real quick with these. I think the Texans are going to, now Miami has been playing really, really well, right? Since Tua's come back, I don't know if they have bubble tape around him. Nobody has hit Tua. He has been, pretty protected. But of course, it's always everyone's crossing their fingers because as good as they look and as explosive as that offense can be with him, as we know, he's one hit away. The Texans are coming off of a bye. Of course, Mixon has been, unbelievable for that team. Of course, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz, they got the whole gamut. CJ Stroud has taken a step back, right?
Yes.
But I do think they have, obviously, seeding. It's something to play for. Their division has gotten a little more competitive. So I think they're going to need to play and play at a high level. I do like the Texans to handle business. I think it could be a shootout. But I think that the Texans can apply pressure to Tua. And with that being said, he does get the ball out fast. I do like the Texans to handle business. What do you say?
I don't know. I actually like. The Texans have a good defense. Their defense is still legit. And I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. But their offense being Miami, which is a different team with Tua, and we've been saying it. Look, this is a team, Miami, that would probably be close to about 8 or 9 wins if Tua was still playing. If Tua had not gotten hurt, rather. So, I don't know. I actually think they could beat.
We'd have 13 wins if CMC and you're
right.
Our whole team. Yeah. So we can't go by that.
No, you're right. But that's a significant injury, right? We've always said it. There's a difference between injuries and key injuries, right? Mm-hmm. And y'all had key injuries, and so as the Dolphins with Tua out. So that's a big difference. That team is deflated when he's not there. That offense is trash. They look like the Giants.
So is Tua the most important player on Miami?
Yes, he is. That? Oh, absolutely. I would say that. Absolutely. They're bad. The backup is trash. That team is bad without Tua. And look, I don't think Tua's a world beater, but Tua is definitely a good enough quarterback to where he plays well in that offense. He gets the ball to guys in that offense, especially that other kid, or whatever, who's really been a nice piece for them. That's a good offense when Tua's in there. I don't think anybody could deny that. Are you going to say that the Dolphins are not a better team when Tua is playing?
I think they are, but I think it's also a matter of having a terrible backup. I think with that type of offense, you could get a better quarterback.
Right.
Yeah.
But not everybody has good back. That's a backup quarterback is it's a premium. That's something to have. Not everybody has one.
And I think in Brock Purdy's absence, I think we did use the wrong backup, in my opinion. We should have used the astronaut and got him in.
Look, there's a reason why the astronaut is a journeyman, right? Let's not fool ourselves. Yeah, he could come in. He'll make some plays.
I don't know. Maybe because he has no eyebrows. There could be a ton of reasons why he's. How do I know? It could be a ton of reasons. That has not. He is more mobile. He had a stronger arm. He went to the Vikings in the middle of the week. Started on a Sunday and balled out. So you can't tell me being around.
That he rescinded. What do you think he was gonna? Well,
all we needed him was for a game. Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Plug him in. All right. I'm not talking about the rest of the year. Plug him in. Get him. Because now it throws defenses off because you have to deal with. He's a dual quarterback, right? He's mobile enough. He can use his legs. He has a strong enough arm. Pretty accurate. And he's obviously smart. He's literally an astronaut. He's smart. He's a highly intelligent
brain. Yeah.
I'm sure he can decipher defenses and figure out how to, but whatever. We picked the other guy who was just a statue and was terrible. All right, let's get a score.
I actually like the Dolphins in this game. Both teams are good against the run, and both teams, can run the ball, so it'll be interesting. I think this is going to be a nice game. A nice game. So I like the Dolphins though. I'm going to take the Dolphins. I think they'll pull this one out for some reason. I just feel like that. Houston has digressed. Bob Johnson, whatever his name is, their OC, he struggled, and they have the benefit of playing in a bad division. So I'm going to just say, I'm going to say Dolphins. I hate this. I don't know. I'm going to say 26. Yeah, I'm going to say 26-19.
Oh, ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a good defensive matchup. The Dolphins are not a bad defensive team either. They both give up just over 100.
Yeah, they're not a bad defensive team, but I think both of those, with those offenses, the run game alone, you got to get close to 30. Both of those teams have to start with a 3. Those scores, yeah, I think ultimately Texans are going to win. I would go 38-31. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game because you, just like on both teams, you have to keep the defense honest, right? So you have a run game enough. Achane can run 20 miles an hour. Mixon is a battering ram. So now you can't crowd the box. And if you do, to try to stop the run on both teams, you got receivers. You got Tank Dell and, of course, Nico Collins. And, you got Dalton Schultz. On the flip side, you got Waddle. You got Jonnu Smith. And you got Tyreek. Yeah. So it's going to be a barn burner. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I just like the Texans, and I like the fact that they have Kareem, whatever his name is the kicker for the Texans. He has a big leg. So I think ultimately it'll be a close enough game down the stretch. I think the Texans will make a few more plays. So I do like them to handle business. But it's going to be in the 30s. It's going to be a high-scoring game, in my opinion.
All right. I like
you got them only scoring 19 points, the Texans, off of a bye? No, sir.
Yeah, I just don't think I think the defense will be ready. I just think defense kind of prevails in this game. I do. I think both offenses are going to struggle. I don't think they're going to find it easy. I don't think it's going to just be a shootout. They're going to like we saw at the Rams in Buffalo. I don't think so. I just don't. I think the defenses are gonna rise up in this game. Yeah, and
we should do. Let's put a pin in it. We have a whole bunch of other games, but we're going to do our part 2 on week 15. Normally, we do a whole slate of games for 15, but we want to try to get scrap in because
let's get scrap in.
We do want to discuss Buffalo and Detroit. That's a big one. Pittsburgh and the Eagles. Of course, we're going to talk about Caitlin Clark, her recent comments. We're going to talk about Belichick's new coaching job in Carolina, and let's end with this. What's your thoughts on Soto going to the Mets instead of the Yankees? What's your initial thought when you thought about it? It all boils down to, in my understanding, was $5 million and a luxury suite for his family was the difference in going to the Yankees, a storied franchise, 27 World Series championships, and going to the Mets, the little brother, if you go to their field just outside of Citi Field, it's the armpit. It's just it's just they're okay. They get it's a big market because they're in New York, but they're the Mets.
Yeah, the Mets. They're
so
not the Yankees.
And $765 million is $765 million. But when you're talking that much money, it wasn't like it was a ridiculous difference. Yeah, now the Yankees held ground and said Jeter, I think Judge, all had to pay for their luxury suites. We're not giving you a luxury. We're giving you $760 million. You can afford that your own suite. And I mean, of course, I guess his agent greedy for $5 million and a suite for your family that you really don't need them to pay for. That was the deal breaker. What do you say?
Yeah, it was disappointing. It really was. The Mets out of all. I mean, I would rather them see him gone to the Dodgers even, but then that'd have been like a KD move in a way. I think.
Oh man, wait a minute. The show was about to end. Let's put a pin in that. I don't care about Soto. Let's talk about the fact that LeBron James and we already discussed this offline. LeBron James, there's talk that LeBron James is trying to team up with Steph Curry.
When?
With the Warriors. Have you heard that?
No, I didn't hear that. They trying to trade him to the Warriors now?
Yeah.
Is that what you heard?
This is the talk that's been on X for the last couple of days. They're trying to get this, big trade to go. I mean, of course, they were also talking about Jimmy Butler. Perhaps Jimmy Butler has a handful of teams that he's looking to go to, but I think his agent came out and told Shams, stop lying. But ultimately, the word is, and nobody has stepped up and said, no, that's not the case, that LeBron James is trying to team up. Now, they'd have to give up Kuminga and some other, young assets, but LeBron going to the Warriors to join up with Steph Curry and, Draymond Green and, the debate about Kevin Durant would be over. It would be over on so many levels.
LeBron's not going there. He's not going to do that. No, they'll try to get a third star in there. Look, the Lakers are just not a team this team doesn't have defense. They just don't play defense. I love Reeves. Reeves has been hurt, but Reeves is having actually a really good year. They got some nice little players, but they just don't have any defense. The defensive scheme is bad. They can't play outside of AD. You have no defenders at all. Vincent is not. He's supposed to have been a defender, kind of like that quote unquote two-way player that he was in Miami.
3-and-D, right?
3-and-D, but he's not that, and he's been bad. Connect don't play D. We know he can shoot the lights out of the ball. D-Lo can't D. Hachimura's bad on defense. Like the only guys you got on defense is Cam Reddish can play some defense. He's good. You know what I'm saying? But he's an offensive liability. Vanderbilt, I don't know why last only time I can see him, he's got pants legs wider than this room. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why his pants legs are so wide. You know what I'm saying? That's all I see. You know what I'm saying? And some big, goofy, bumpy boots that he wear. I don't understand that. So that's what he's wearing. He's never been in uniform. So the Cowboys just, I'm sorry. The Lakers just don't have any, they just don't have any good players. So if you bring somebody else in, you're going to lose.
Those names are intercentiable. If you think about it, they're interchangeable.
They actually are.
You're going to say Cowboys and Lakers.
It's been Cowboys and Lakers have been, it's been, and maybe I'm a fan because of Pat Riley. Pat Riley was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys. A lot of people don't realize that. So yeah. But
they already tried to get LeBron.
Yeah, no, LeBron's not going there. Let me tell you something. If LeBron does that, yes, it will hurt his legacy, I think. And I think he would lose. I don't think he would do that to Jeannie and them. I think they would be very, very, very upset.
After they drafted his son?
Yeah, we drafted your son. We just gave you a boatload of money. You're 91 years old. We just paid you a lot of money. And
he would be doing them a service, though, if they got younger. If you decided at this point, it's not going to work. We're not going to win anything. Let's pivot off of him, build around AD. We get Kuminga, maybe Prominski, get some young assets that can play defense, that can score. It's better for the Lakers.
Yeah, but they're not going to. The Lakers, unfortunately, the way that market is designed, they need a star. AD doesn't have.
AD's not a star.
But AD is a star to basketball fans, but not to the average casual onlookers. They need a name. The Lakers have always had a name. You got to have a name. That's why
I think LeBron. They had LeBron on the cover of the newest edition of AARP. So,
well, listen, you can say what you want, but ain't nobody we've seen ever in the history of basketball play at the level that we see LeBron James playing at. Now, Kareem played at a high level, no question about it. But Kareem,
you're talking about as a Laker.
I'm talking about as any player in basketball in the history of the NBA. Who at 39 putting up the numbers that LeBron is putting up? LeBron is still a top 10 player in the league. You don't think so?
Wait a minute.
I don't understand. It was like 14 facial expressions within a 2.5 second span right there. I don't understand.
Wait. I don't know if I heard you correctly.
You don't think LeBron's a top 10 player in this league still at the age of 39?
Top 10? Absolutely not. top 20. I can run off 10 people that he's not better than really quickly. No, he's not. He is in a lot of ways a defensive liability. He turns the ball over.
LeBron has never been a defensive player. I mean, he makes good defensive plays at key moments.
Weak side defense. He's great.
Yeah.
He turns the ball over at an alarming rate now. He is not a top 10 player. Now, he is, as far as face of the league, yeah, of course. He's top 3 in impact currently to this day. There's, I would say there potentially, you got Steph and, maybe someone else I would have to think of. But overall, top 10? No. As Bubba Dub would say, never. Nah, he is not a top 10 player.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so LeBron, and how old is LeBron again? 39?
Yeah, I think 38, 39. Yeah.
Oh, he's averaging 23 points a game.
Okay. That's not top 10.
Okay, but I'm saying let's put this in context.
We're not putting it by age. He is number 1 if you say top 39-year-old.
Okay.
That's not what you said. You said top 10 player. He's not.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Okay,
skew it down.
8 rebounds and 9 assists,
to make it work.
and he's shooting 49% from the field. He has 9 assists and 8 rebounds a game. Now let's look at NBA stats. Okay, let's look at the stats. Offensive players. Okay, let's look at offensive players. Okay.
He's not top 10, Rod.
Okay, and LaMelo Ball we know is balling. He's definitely balling. No question about it. No question about it. Shea, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You got quiet after you hit 10. You stopped. He is not a top 10 player. Yo, did y'all notice that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it went on. Then he muted it. Yo, he is not. He's a top 20 player, and at 39, that is fantastic.
Okay. All right. Okay. No, I agree. I'm looking through the time. I'm like, okay.
He may not even be top 20, but I'm giving him top 20. He might be closer to 25.
No, you're right. Actually, he might be close to 25. Because when I look at the list, because he's not better than Giannis, Jokic.
Goodness, no.
Look, I think LaMelo Ball is a scorer, right? I mean, no question about it. No question about it. I mean, he's a scorer, but but maybe that could be arguable, right? Is he still better than LeBron? He's averaging 31 a game, but I'm just saying that don't mean anything.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
I mean,
man.
but he's not better than you got Shea and then Tatum and Doncic and even Anthony Davis is 7th in the league in scoring and so forth. Yeah. So in player stats.
Yeah.
All right. You have Fox and Edwards.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna leave. It's
What's
late.
Cat? What's Cat? Cat might even be above him.
So Cat is at right now. He's 12. Cat is averaging 25 a game.
Yeah. So that's it. Come on, it's over, man. He's not a top 10 player. Not in any metric. If you combine the metrics, he's not a top 10 player. He's not, because he is, for his age, for the longevity. Once again, check the box. Longevity award goes to LeBron. If you want to say top 10 players, he's at 39 years old.
He's actually 25 on this list. Yeah. According to, I'm looking at ESPN stats here. And he's 20.
The defense rest 25. I said 20. I didn't, but 10? No, goodness, no, not close. But listen, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. Did the Knicks lose? I hope they lost. I think they were losing to it. Beautiful. This is a good night. This is a good night. That's good. The Knicks is out of it. No cup. Yeah, I think they got him.
Trey Young. Trey owns them, man. He owns them.
He does. When he start. And Knicks were up going into halftime, and then I don't know.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. No, Knicks. The Knicks.
They turned the AC up.
Had 24. Hart had 20. Actually, Hart was their leading scorer. Believe it or not.
Oh, so you ain't got, if Brunson ain't your leading scorer, your best player ain't your leading scorer, it's
Brunson didn't shoot well. He was only 5 of 15 tonight.
Oh,
he didn't shoot well. And Karl Anthony Towns had 19. He only took 15 shots tonight.
Yeah,
he had 19 boards.
Okay.
But Trey had Trey didn't really shoot. Trey was only 8 of 22. He didn't shoot well either. He had 22 points. It was a sloppy offensive game, really. That's a little more defense, if anything, in this game. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, but they lost. They lost.
Cool. That's good. That's good news. Right.
You always give me I'm vulnerable that night, man. So, I'm not as sharp at night, and
it's all good. Good.
I always try to, I look, you be making a lot of sacrifice because Don's an early riser, you know what I mean? And so you're better way early in the morning than I am way late at night. So, as far as trying to, and then you be saying stuff, you get me mad, you know what I'm saying? I might change my score again. Rams 95, 49.
49, right? There you go.
49, right. That's it. 95, 49. That's it.
Yeah, but I'm sure we'll be texting back and forth during the
game. We'll go back and forth. It should be a good one, no doubt.
And on our next show, we'll conclude our Week 15 preview, and hopefully we'll have Scrap in the building so we can talk about the Eagles and
let's get Scrap.
all that dysfunction and will Mike Tomlin be able to pick that apart? And I think if he's smart, there's a way, because they're going to force the ball. They're going to try to overcorrect, and it's going to be to them. Yeah.
I say this to you lastly before we go. That game against the Niners, the Eagles and the Panthers, that's a sign. I think it's a sign. It's a sign of things to come for the Eagles. And then AJ Brown beefing too. Listen, it's the perfect setup for the fall. It's coming. It's coming. So that's why I got to hear what Scrap got to say. It's coming. So yeah. Yeah.
What's that saying that they say? Oh, I get it now. You ever heard them say that? I understand now. Or something they say, but
well, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's about the right time. Yeah. Before Christmas, they start to It's all
AJ
good.
Brown is starting up. This is the time right now. He's right on schedule. On schedule.
Oh yeah. But thanks everyone for joining us. Shout out to Rod. I appreciate it, man. Likewise, everyone that jumped in had something to say. Once again, please like, share, subscribe to our Facebook, YouTube page. We really want to try to bang the YouTube page. So encourage everyone to like and subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube page. We put out some great content. And as always, we appreciate you guys joining us. Until next time, everybody. Peace.